Hi guys, it's Football Index ASAP here, and welcome to my first episode of my Matchday preview. It's now going to be Matchday 4, I believe, in the Premier League, etc. But initially we're going to start with the games on the Friday, and that includes, from what I've picked from the selection, is Sevilla versus Celta Vigo. I've gone with Joan Jordan. Obviously, over the past 7 days, he arrived 31 pence. He has dropped below about 2 pence since then, in the last 24 hours. But he's been playing well this season, especially for Sevilla. I can expect him to come up good this game. So yeah, next one I'm going on to is the Bilbao vs Sociedad game. I believe Martin Odegaard, he's kind of in a second sort of resurrection of his career. I know he's only 20 still, but he was hyped to like 16 for Real Madrid. I think people were starting to think maybe he should have stayed at Real Madrid and come up, because I expect him to contribute to some IPDs, at least maybe get a goal or assist. The next game is the Gladbach versus Leipzig game. You could go for anyone. Maybe Sabitzer is the obvious idea, but I just expect Yusuf Poulsen to get a goal or something at least, contribute in that sort of way, maybe even an assist. But for the last set of games, I've gone for Andrea Petagna, if I said that right, Petagna. He scored in his last game against Atalanta. It could be it could set Petagna up good for this season. Going on to Soccer Saturday, it's the first game of the day, Southampton versus Manchester United. Redmond's had a good start of the season, so I've gone with him. That's only 72 pence. Have seen an overall downtrend in him, but he has been playing well. United having a so-so start to the season. They had a good 4-0 win at the start of the season against Chelsea, but other than that, they've just been shown to, be in that pretend good team that they always are. As you can tell, I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't have much good to say about Man United. Camarasa scored a goal against Colchester in the EFL Cup. I don't know if you're not too sure if we're a feature for Crystal Palace, but yeah, I don't know if he's proved to earn a spot there at 51 pence. It's a decent risk. It's a good price on a player. The next game is Leicester versus Bournemouth. I've gone with both Jamie Vardy and Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson has had an extremely good start to the season. I expect him to continue this consistency. As well for Jamie Vardy, he's just he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League now, you could say. So that's it for the Bournemouth and Leicester game at 80B. Vardy's a quite decent price, man, for a goal scorer. He has, gone down about 1 pence over the last week / 24 hours, but could buy into him now for 80 pence. It's a good value, although of his age you could say it's not good value, but in my opinion it is. The next game is the Man City and Brighton & Hove Albion game. I've chosen Sterling as he's just an overall proven goal scorer, assister, just a great all-round attacking player. He's proven in the Premier League for multiple years now, and he's going to consistently score and consistently perform well every game, especially as the Euro 2020 is coming up. You've got to think that far in the future. It all adds up to the player's value. In the player's mentality, he's going to be thinking about putting in more of a shift at £6.20. It's quite a high price, but I do honestly see him to continue growing. I do see him to be up there at the top 3 challenge for it, maybe next year or the year after that, really challenging them. And the next player I have here is Christian Atsu. He's a good value player at only 34p. He featured against Tottenham and he got an assist that game. That's his only game of the season. I think Newcastle will be stupid not to play him first in the starting 11. He's an amazing price purchase if he continues to play this way at 34 pence. I can see him continue to rise if he continues to perform. Although age isn't necessarily on his side. But you've seen he's grown about 9 pence in the last week at 34%. Now, for Liverpool. They're playing against Burnley. I think we can expect Sadio Mane to play a lot. Continue performing well. He's a very disciplined, very extremely good player. He's going to get you bags of goals. But also on the other hand, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold could get a shout for this. I currently have him in my portfolio. He's an IPD beast, and mine is an overall beast. That's all I have to say, really. On to the next game, I've chosen Griezmann. It's against Osasuna. He's off the mark for Barca, and I expect to see more from this guy. Definitely. £62. I think he's a decent price. Age isn't exactly on his side, but he's still going to perform. Going on to the Levante Valladolid game, I've chosen Roger Marti for Levante. It's very cheap. It's a very cheap option. He did score last game out. You see, he's gone up by 9 pence. Anyone who grabbed him at 40 pence is an absolute steal, I reckon. He might continue to perform. He's an experienced player. He scored 2 last game against Villarreal. Going on to Plano, he's got a goal and an assist in his last 2 games. They're the best up for it. Looking at their prices, how can you go wrong? Batista's backed by a very good team. How can you go wrong? At 34 pence and 49 pence respectively. And on to the Betis-Legans game. I've chosen either Fekir, as he's just a general overall beast, or Laurent Moran, as he's got 2 goals and 1 assist in 2 games, and only 1 start in them 2 games. 61 pence, absolute steal. He's got up 23 pence in the last 7 days. I think it goes to show that people are starting to cotton onto him. And I've chosen Volland for the Bayer Leverkusen game at £1.09. He's not the youngest of players, of course, but he has got a goal and assist in his first 2 games. He's a reliable player, experienced, established. He's got a good backing team behind him. I can see him getting more assists and a few more goals. Maybe be more an assist player as a deep line forward, but Now on to Bayern Munich's game, I've chosen Lewandowski as he's got 5 goals in 2 games. He's got an assist and 2 goals in his first game. He's got a hat-trick in the last game and 2 goals in his first game. A general beast. His price is extremely low. I wouldn't say extremely low. It's very fair for him. He's scored a lot of goals. You're going to get a lot of dividends. It's just not a long-term investment. A quick flip around, maybe keep him for the next few games. Going on to Julian Weigl for Dortmund. They're playing against the Union Berlin. I think he's going to be good for IPDs, as he's getting about 105 passes per game completed. And also at a very, very low price of 68 pence. He might be winning top midfielder. You never know. Obviously it's Saturday, so it's fixture congestion. There's going to be a lot of competition out there, but he's still going to win you dividends either way. Now on to Suse. He's an amazing example for IPD player. He's got to get in his crosses, a lot of important passes. He's getting feeded the ball a lot and making dribbles. He's just a very great example for an IPD player, and he's a good investment in general. For the Juve Napoli game, I've chosen Insigne or Pjanic. Insigne's been whacking in the goals so far. Also, Pjanic is an IPD beast, and I think he's going to be contending throughout the year with everyone. In his last game, he got 140 points per half time. So that goes to show you what kind of investment he could be. Now some French games. Lyon versus Bordeaux. I've gone with, who pronounces it, Aouar. He's been proven to be amazing this season. If you look at his growth in the last 3 months, he's had a peak there, but he's absolutely shot during the start of the season. He's gone down 5 pence in the last 24 hours. It's a good time to buy him as a little dip. He's going to keep producing and producing. He's their main defender. He's got youth on his side. He's going to continue to grow through in the index, regardless of it's just in-game dividends. Or on the other side, a little cheaper option of Bertrand Traore. He's got an assist so far this season. Last game out against Montpellier, he got 2 key passes. Got the ball back quite a lot for the team. He's been playing very consistently through the start of the season and a very instrumental player in Lyon's game. I don't think he gets enough recognition as he deserves. And onto a little gem for this season, I think, maybe if he can keep performing. Baptiste Santa Maria. He's not at the best team. He's very, very, very cheap. He's gone up 1 pence in the last week. Yeah, just an overall consistent performer so far this season. I think it'll be good to see how he can do throughout the season. Now on to the Nantes Montpellier game. Chosen Delort, as he's had a good season last season. He's shown good signs this season too. He's got a goal. He's hit the woodwork so far during the season at 72 pence. Age is not as necessarily on his side, but I think he's got a decent enough potential. I think he can go up to the 80 pence mark if he continues to perform this season and show up good for Montpellier. Now going on to Baptiste Rene, he's goalkeeper for Toulouse. Playing well this season, although last game 4-0 against PSG, he's still put in a very good shift against a very good team. Playing against Amiens, I don't think he struggled too much against them. I think we expect a clean sheet from Rene. Now on to the Sunday fixtures, Everton versus Wolverhampton. I've chosen Raul Jimenez. He's proven to be prolific for Wolves, scoring all kinds of goals against any opposition really. You can expect to see him get a few more goals during the next 30 days, so I think he's good. Playing against a weaker Everton side this season, definitely with Mina in the back, he's proved to be very poor for Everton. I think Raul Jimenez will not struggle to break down their defence. I mean, if Arsenal versus Tottenham, it's a hard one, as I don't think Arsenal or Tottenham have been playing too well at the start of the season. Arsenal, we've got to give it to them considering their last season, but well, I've chosen Lucas just because he's a good impact sub. He'll get you a goal and assist, or he's always going to perform and give you some sort of result, whether that's coming on as a sub or starting. I think him coming on a sub is really an instrumental part of his game. He does grab a goal and assist when he comes on as a sub. At £1.37, I think he's decent, fairly priced. His price is fairly stable. It's not going up and down, but if you put faith in him, he's bound to perform for you, in my opinion. Onto the Atletico Madrid Eibar game. I've chosen João Felix. It goes without saying, he's come in, wonder kid. He's absolutely smashed his performances to pieces, playing his heart out there. He's proven he's probably the player they need in Atletico. Although I do think they need a new striker to get the end of it, but he's really creating chances for them. Really being instrumental in that number 10 role. He's going to get a lot of good IBD scores, maybe being performance buzzers or media buzzers even. But yeah, I think João Felix goes without saying. On to another one, I'm choosing Benzema, as Madrid have a good run of games in the next 30 days. He's a proven goal scorer. Not much to say about him, but at a decent price of 90 pence. He's going to be absolutely killing out there. The age ain't on his side, but does not mean he does not have quality, and he will not provide you goals and in the end make you money. Going over to Germany, Eintracht Frankfurt, I've chosen Kostic, although he's not in my watch list. We will have to look him up. At £1.27, I expect him to perform. He has not performed so far this season, but I know from last season he can perform. I think he just needs a goal or assist to set him off, and then he's flying off. But at £1.27, can't really complain about him. Last season he put in a decent shift for Frankfurt. He just needs to get the ball rolling, and we'll see a lot going for this guy. But I think this week is the game he's going to score. It's a nice little game for them against Dusseldorf, and I have faith for him to come up. Now going to the Roma game, Roma versus Lazio, choosing Edin Dzeko. At 90 pence, I think he seemed very settled in Italy, performing how you think he'd perform. At 91 pence, can't really go wrong. Obviously age is not in his side. I believe age is a very important factor in Football Index, but there we are. I've chosen him for this week. Here's Luis Muriel for the Atlanta Turin game. I picked him up last week before he scored them goals. I picked him up at his buying price of 75 pence. He's gone up 15 pence since then. I've caught all that 20% increase. I didn't buy too many of him, but yeah, I think he's going to continue his streak. He had a very good pre-season. He's transferred that into the start of the season, and goals is money really. On to the next one. I think he's kind of a established guy in that FI community right now. Absolute PB king at the moment. I expect him to win PBs fairly often this season. I think others will agree with me. The style of play suits the Matrix absolutely. With the 15-day uptrend, you can see there must be something good about him. I think at £1.15 he's still come of good value. I think he will break that £1.75 mark. So for a capital investment opportunity as well, it's very good as an in-play dividend opportunity. He's going to rack up points all season long. Key passes, dribbles, all of that. At £1.55, that's probably about his base value, but if you're looking to get in dividends, I think that's a good purchase opportunity, and that's why I featured him here today. Absolutely love this player this season. He's been an absolute beast every game, overperforming. He suits to a very good team this season. I think we're going to see a lot of this guy popping up. I think he's good to invest in him right now. I'm not holding him at the moment, but I think he's my next purchase. Now on to this guy. People call him the Pepe replacement. He scored 2 goals in his first game. The second game he didn't perform overly well, but his price has still gone up since then. 2 in his first game, of course, and he's looking to be a direct swap for Pepe. Last but not least of this first series is Wassim Ben Yedder at £1. Newly transferred to Monaco. He got a goal in his last game. Playing against a Strasbourg team, I think he won't struggle to put 1 or 2 past them, or maybe get an assist this game. Well, there you have it. Here's my preview of the Matchday week this week. It's my first episode. It isn't the first Matchday week, but every season is different. I thought I'd give the season a bit of time to start, wrap up a few games for players so I can give you better feedback with better and more up-to-date statistics. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a like, give me a sub, share it and comment, and tweet me at FindexASAP. Peace.